public. And that's
We're not talking that.
no, you don't have any of that with us.
Oh, okay. Did you know a woman named Irene Goldstein years ago?
No, did you not, Irene Goldstein?
No.
No, because I thought she had run a program. She was a realtor and she may have done something. I know she also had a cable show.
Well, let me give you an idea of some of them. A lot of them are religious programs.
Okay.
A lot of them are, Nat Taft, tell about Kaleidoscope. It has wonderful guests.
Well, my wife Norma Pike Taft has run the Kaleidoscope
Right.
show since the very beginning of the public access channel in 1981. And what she has is one guest a week. She's had different civic, religious, social, and other leaders of the community.
Okay.
Several of them come back year after year, like John Chandler of the White Plains Hospital is a regular. Each year, he thanks her for the opportunity to bring the report on the hospital to the public.
Oh, okay.
Pastor Fred Schumacher of St. Matthew's Church is another regular. The Greater White Plains United Way has an annual show.
Harry Bright, people like that?
Harry Bright
Yeah,
and
okay.
now Connie DeFilippis.
Right,
That's-
okay.
And I remember coming over to Greenberg. See, those are all good guests that you mentioned. I came over to Greenberg and interviewed, what's her name?
Lois Bronze?
No, she was, she and Paul Finer had a big fight. What's her name?
Sue Tolchin.
Yes, good for you.
Yeah.
I interviewed her.
Okay.
I interviewed the supervisor of Greenberg, just to let these people find out where they came from, how they grew up, how they ended up doing what they did, what advice they'd give a youth to get started in such a career today.
Okay. So it's more, career, hobby shows, how to cook, how to cook.
Yeah, it's a public forum.
Okay.
When you get down to it, it's a public forum.
Okay.
And you see,
Earn anything from it?
excuse me?
People don't earn anything?
Oh, no, you can't.
By law, you cannot.
No,
Well,
and they don't.
so how do they fund it?
Well, they,
Out of pocket.
yeah, well, it's like a hobby to them.
Right.
They have something they want to communicate to the public, and they do it, and this is why Congress mandated it.
But they would be paying for, do they pay for the studio time?
No, that's against the law. This is mandated by Congress to be free.
So this has to be all free, they're not paying for it?
Yes, the cable cast time has to be free, and in addition to it, the production facility. The cable company has to provide the cameras,
Right.
the recorders, and the editing equipment.
Right, but you're saying that if they have to make, 18 copies or something,
Oh, well, that they wouldn't provide. That we would have
that
to
you
do.
have to pay out of pocket?
Oh, yeah, like we have to bring in our own videotapes. We have to buy, and a videotape of 3/4 inch is about $18.
Right, okay. Okay.
Gee, I'm glad you called us. I wonder if you could get over and pick up a copy of my summons and order to show cause, and
Where are you? So it's
I'm in White Plains, right downtown White Plains, right near.
I just wonder, it's only Wednesday, is there any way you could just mail it to me? I still use old-fashioned mail, and I have a mother who wrecks my fax machine.
No, wait just a second. Hold on, I'm going to get an envelope. All right, let me put it in a card. I'm ready. Mary Rosenberg, what's your address?
It's 30 Oak Street, like the tree,
Oh, okay.
okay, Ardsley, Ardsley, New
Yep.
York, 10502.
Now it's 914-693-8957.
Right. Now, let me just ask you another question, because my editor may not permit me to use, I need your whole name, even if I say professionally known as Glendora. What's your complete name?
No, I don't like to do that.
You don't?
No.
The times gets funny.
Yeah.
They may get weird, they're like,
Yeah, I call up Mr. Salzberger every month and tell him a joke. He's got the jolliest laugh.
oh, well, I don't talk to him. Me on that.
Well, let it go for the time being, all right? But it is Glendora.
Okay, because my editor,
And the lawsuit is Glendora versus John C. Malone, who is the CEO of TCI. It's the biggest cable company in the United States.
okay, and you're a producer,
Well, I'm a public access producer.
right?
Would you be going over to Judge Connor's courtroom on Tuesday?
To be honest, I don't know yet, because I never know my schedule, depending what else is coming up.
Well, I
So
think-
I'm putting it down on my calendar.
And you know that I asked for a temporary restraining order,
Okay,
what you call a TRO, and a preliminary injunction that TCI
right,
should be restrained and enjoined from going through with this on February 1st, which is their date.
Right, and that's what you're asking that they...
I've asked. Now, he signed my order to show cause, but he crossed out the TRO and the preliminary injunction. So that's mean, and he called us all over there very quickly. You know, courts move quite slowly.
Right.
This is what you call very speedy.
Well, because they, I mean, otherwise it would be moot if they pulled the plug on February, right?
Well, no, they can always get a temporary restraining order afterwards. You can always get it, but I don't want it to start in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, but they could always make them put us back on.
Yeah.
Now, I saw that Audrey Hochberg and,
Honor?
yeah, we're suggesting Channel 3, which would be neat,
Okay.
because that's right between highly viewed Channel 2 and highly viewed Channel 4.
Right,
So that would be neat.
okay,
And that's what we used to have, least access on Channel 3.
okay.
And they moved it to Channel 10. But the thing is, Mary, that these cable operators think they can do anything they want. They don't have to live by the law. You know, they're so much a monopoly, and they're so darn wealthy. They think that they can just tell everybody in the world what to do. And they can't. We have laws. Now, I must give you some background. I sued Cablevision for something like $500 million. And I sued them 3 times because they took my program off TV on the basis of content. I was reading the record of the Republicans out in Nassau County, and it was true, and they didn't want to hear it. So they put pressure on Cablevision to take it off, and Cablevision in their arrogance and the ignorance did. And I sued them and I won.
You won?
Oh, I did. And I haven't won any money yet. But but the Judge Silverman of the Westchester Supreme Court, New York, said plaintiff has a statutory right to have her program on TV, and it must be returned to TV, and it was over a year ago. And then I won in the United States Court of Appeals, the Second Circuit. And I just won the one with Judge Bryan. Cablevision tried to say that I couldn't enforce the law that I quoted you. They said I couldn't enforce it. I had no private right of enforcement. But Judge Bryan said, meaning that it had to be enforced either by the New York State Cable Television Commission or by the FCC. But Judge Bryan says that's not so. Glendora has a private right of enforcement. So I won that for every cable TV access producer in the United States. Yes, it's a national significance. And if you want to know our feeling, we think a conspiracy is going on. This and Continental Cablevision up in Ossining took my program from every week to twice a week, and I sued them for $298 million, and so far I've won on that. They offered to settle. They will put my program back on in August. But I say, I don't have to wait until August, because Judge Silverman has already given me the right to have my program back on this week. So I didn't take their settlement. That is before Judge Barrington D. Parker, United States Court, Southern District of New York. Nat, you got anything you want to say?
No, I think that gives you a pretty good overview. There are many, many details that would fill up a whole issue of the Times on Sunday.
Well, there's a...
Oh, it's a great story, I'm telling you. It's of national significance. Why doesn't Nat give you his number?
Yeah, let me take that down. And spell your name, please.
It's my wife's show, Norma Pike Taft,
Norma?
Norma,
Pike?
Pike,
Taft?
Taft, right.
Okay, and your name is Nat, not Nathaniel?
Nathaniel, yeah,
Nathaniel.
right.
Okay. And what's the number?
914
Right?
946 6116.
Okay, and you're a producer?
Norma's the producer, I'm her assistant.
Oh, okay. All right, okay, good. Thank you very much. I'm gonna...
What do you think will happen? You'll go down and talk it to your editor about it?
No, I mean, this is a sign. I mean, I'm working on it.
Oh, good, you've been assigned.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who was the editor assigned you?
Excuse me?
Well, what editor assigned you?
Westchester. Roland Miller, my editor.
Oh, right up here on Main Street?
No, that's Joe Berger. They're Metro. This is...
Oh, they're different.
They're different. This is for the, the Sunday section of the Westchester?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Westchester Weekly.
Right, that's what it's for.
Oh,
As a matter of fact, Mary, what you may want to consider is talking to Roberta Hershenson. I interviewed her on Norma's show a couple of years ago, so she's familiar with it.
No, I mean, just for background,
Yeah.
I mean, I know Roberta.
Sure.
what do you call a miniature guppy?
Excuse me?
What do you call a miniature guppy?
I don't know.
A microfiche.
Yeah, that's cute.
Hello, Kate. provide that channel time on public access channels is to be scheduled on a first-come, first-served, non-discriminatory basis and available without charge to the user. Finally, state law provides that no cable television company may prohibit nor limit or any program or class or type of program presented over any channel made available for public access or educational. And this is where they are breaking the law. They are prohibiting and limiting our public access programs. There is only one public access channel in these 21 communities that is system-wide, and that is Channel 8. Now defendants illegally and greedily want to deprive us public access producers of the only public access channel system-wide. We are on page 8. Because the municipalities which have awarded cable franchises to TCI in Westchester have yet to designate a public entity to operate and administer Channel 8, TCI of Westchester now remains responsible for that exclusively governmental function. Public access channels play an increasingly important role in the marketplace of ideas, offering countless individuals and groups an opportunity to express themselves and share their views and experiences with each other through the cable medium. Each week, thousands of hours of public access programs are produced and televised on public access channels throughout the United States, addressing a wide range of vital local issues. Not only are public access programs regularly televised, but they are regularly watched by cable subscribers, notwithstanding the cable industry's indifference and hostility, that's you, TCI, towards such programming. In short, public access channels have today become the electronic equivalent of such traditional public fora as public streets, sidewalks, and parks. The facts in Glendora's case. In her weekly series of public access programs, Glendora regularly covers controversial issues of public importance in the metropolitan New York City region. Many of these issues are ones in which she is personally involved through litigation. While Glendora may focus on her own litigation, this litigation holds questions of general interest worthy of media coverage. It is important to realize that public access is used all over the nation, and that Glendora's case is an important case, and that, as the Second Circuit framed it, it is an issue of national significance. On December 20th, 1995, Glendora's husband Franklin pointed out an outrageous announcement at the bottom of the bill. As he was paying the bill, he found this outrageous announcement, which is covered up by another announcement, which is stupid. You can't read it all, but it says, in accordance with FCC must carry regulations on February 1, 1996, WRNN will be added to our lineup on Channel 19. The electronic program guide presently on the channel will move to Channel 8, replacing the system-wide public access channel. Public access as well as education and government programming, and then you can't read the rest of it. That's a dumb thing to do. How many more billions do they have to make before they know how to run a company? Doesn't the court think this is rather an important message to be covered up by an advertising message? This is Katie Cat. Hi, Katie Cat. Glendora should find out about this on her bill. Suppose she were not a TCI subscriber. She would never have found out. Mid-morning, she called TCI and asked what was the meaning of this outrageous statement. Brenda Cherry said Glendora was sent a letter last week. Well, she wasn't. She never received such a letter. Nor did Darrell Jenkins, nor did the Reverend Dr. Everett Parker, nor did Jean-Claude. All those are public access producers like Glendora. Such arrogance and negligence is nothing new for cable TV operators. Not until December 28, 1995 did Glendora receive the letter she should have received a week ago, thus making this action a week late. TCI cannot carry out this February 1st, 1996 date. For this reason, among others, no proper notice. Several producers have not received letters. And so, finally, the letter came, certified mail, return receipt requested, and that was a whole week after. I told them that they'd never sent me a letter, and after I demanded a letter. Dear Glendora, as you requested, enclosed find duplicate reprinted notification letter. The original was mailed December 15, 1995. Prove it. If you should have any further questions, you may contact Miles Rich at 777-390-432. Brenda Cherry, 34. we're taking television into yesterday. You know, their slogan is, we're taking television into tomorrow. Well, no, folks, they're taking television into yesterday. Please take judicial attention of the rest of this letter. We now required WRNN and so forth, and that I just hate. They, of course, loathe, despise, detest, abhor, must carry, which is a regulation of your government. They hate that. So they're trying to get you to hate it. And the way they're trying to do this is to blame it on must carry. Make them the culprit. No, no, no. TCI's greed is the culprit. TCI Studio White Plains will remain available to you free of cost until February 29th, 1996, this leap year. And then they're going to start charging you for the use of the studio that we've always had with no charge. Now, here are the public access contacts, and you call up these people in these 21 municipalities, and they'll tell you they have no facility to cast all of these programs that TCI is dumping on them by taking away the public access channel. System-wide public access channel. Glendora points out to the court that in order to get the coverage on system-wide Channel 8 that we have had for a dozen years, each public access producer would have to have 17 dubs made of each program. This is so excessively burdensome that defendants have violated our freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Further, the time required to distribute these 17 dubs is 34 hours, an unreasonable expenditure of life and limb. Add to this all of the gasoline, car wear and tear, and parking fees, and you see why defendants' plan is unreasonable. Additionally, these 17 community defendants are trying to dump the Channel 8 programs on, may not want to cablecast this load, and doesn't have the personnel to cablecast this load. Nor can these communities afford the payroll to cablecast these programs dumped on them. So our programs cablecast centrally on Channel 8 system-wide would not have to be cablecast 17 different times according to this outrageous plan by the defendants. Defendants should be sanctioned for blaming the United States government's must-carry rule. Defendants could put WRNN on one of their channels for which they get revenue, but they are too greedy for that. Their action is inflammatory and anti-government and trying to make the public hate must-carry, which is a public benefit, and Congress knew what it was doing. Defendant's action is against the public interest. In show cause affidavit in support and the memorandum of law to the marshals for them to the 18 defendants, and the third box is the deposition of William Glen, who's the president of the cable system for cable, not president of corporate. That was James Colfault, and when he was fired, the job was never filled. Two empty boxes, and Jeannie was in the hall because she needs a little change. She's not outdoors and around down there. As I coming up the stairs, I heard Daniel coming down the stairs, so I get out of his way. Going to do sober or not, and his behavior is, wouldn't you know, it would still be. And as he went by me, I was on the downstairs to the basement, he was downstairs to the front door, as he went by me. No, he just can't keep to himself. Intentional infliction, emotional disturbance, and you can't call it breaking White Plains, but it certainly was insulting. So it's those three things. $3,192. It always amazes me. A person can be enough to be a parent of a teenager in the neighborhood of 20 years old. If being a parent doesn't make him a tool, new laws, and this is the from this week of 214 Exhibit 89 tortious acts are 3102. Wednesday was a day of peace. So that's good. Gradually, inconsiderate, immature, neighbors, that this is a fight against such a thing. A valuable record. Continental cable prevented any progress or any accomplishment of the lawsuit, which is a denial of law to federal court, the depositions before the action been done on the DHCR. The DHCR, New York State Division of Housing and Community, which is to grant a reduction in services. It's been done by them on that. It's talking. Now they're going to put their diplomas. When he was in college, he kept running in circles. And Billy graduated to BA for what? Barely adequate. On Walt Alpucci and breaking, waiting for the brief. He just copied Mitchell's Wilson Wade brief. He's a copycat. This is the kind of thing that of course you can do it, and nobody cares. You didn't care. A great heightening. We have the Bible, and every one of us should give account of himself to God. 12. 2. The reason we have to is that William Quinn of not the corporate, has been called to a deposition at 3 p.m. He canceled the deposition scheduled afraid to be deposed. I think he has been caught lying. And show the court really what is going on. That if Quinn didn't succeed in the deposition right today, would do it, and that would be at noon. Remind him of that. There would be a deposition started in his courtroom today, and said that we would come to change your lives around. And last week, every time time that it was canceled, and 4 hours preparing for it, and I'm going. Here it is, folks. This is the box that I'll take. This is the box. I have many audio tape conversations with Thomas Garger. Was lying, and these are micro cassettes. Each one of these micro cassettes. This is the regular. Here are some more micro cassettes. Now, the Callagy and deadbeat 2 months. You think these people have a lot of money? I don't think they have a lot of money. I think they're dead broke. I'm talking about Cablevision. I'm talking about, and I'm talking about. I think they're dead broke. I don't think they have any money. They refused to pay my costs in the court. Women unjustly got away with that, and I appealed that to the appellate division. First file is second file is the $424 to pay for those lies. The Glendora's discovery demands which have never been answered adequate. That's out of place. To give Vera Monaco, the stenographer, can get the spelling file. Manual. I want to come out to Nassau County if he can give me some information about the. There has been no chance to do the Glendora log. It would be, this is the week of the 5th, the 8th hours to us by Cablevision. This is a paid receipt. And 6 for 20 pages of double. This is the mailing list. The new ones are Ralph Mead, Administration, United States Court of Task Force, Bell Federal Judicial Center, and the rest of lawbreakers, and also to the amici, and Terry. And what is this? Oh yeah, my Cablevision. Interesting. I'll show you a picture. This is my Cablevision stocks. I'm a shareholder. Pay any dividends. All the this lawsuit. And I'm going to show you a picture of Mr. Glen. Last report they corporate. You want to show it's Charles Bell and up. Mark House right, and behind James Dolan, executive. Any that was put up. The rest of them all look like this. Look like schoolboy look. Court, and you're armed with the and you're armed with rules. There's nothing to Southern District, and then gave me when I was buying commercials. This is my investigation, and I never get a chance to do it because these lawbreakers are always lying, and I always have to go to court. I guess when they took that with Glendora off TV. Editorial channel. Also with New York State Executive. You quote it. Did cable break these? How many times have you talked to Mr. Did you meet with Callagy? How long? Did he defend you? Before the television department? Did the fault was that? And in this, you in this picture? Who signed the report? You know who that was? James Wolfall. Now, Wolfall is president. Operating officer mean? To testify before subpoenaed can be used in 1990, in 1991. Was anybody? Why down? Position a deposition. And the question of 25. Nobody was there. Here's a how is it spelled? Are you sure? Why did Charles Jones choose James Dolan over 94? Make a decision. Where were you born? Were your jobs? Did there come cable vision? Hard. What were your button? What is your address? And do you have any memo about making Glen TV each week? How many does this cable cast? Do you have electronic? Why is there no who consult? Did he consult the department? Who blank? Who decision? No, he was breaking a law. Corporate. Do you volunteer in any political organization? Glendora 7 discovered demands. Did you receive them? The decision to in a report back from the 50 feet or more. This is ever seen before. How is your job different from who's co-founder? Lemley, is he corporate? It's just questions that I want to ask. You have to find the reason the person made the decision. That person was a political person. And if it's then a violation of press. Robert Callagy that he Glendora. And California. Said the second department Cali law that is everybody's fault that he that Judge Silverman but it wasn't absent from work because of the some they loaf more than they work. The court. 2.5 weeks, 2.5 days, the week of January 8th, and they holiday. I wouldn't do 2.5 days of a week. And the public suffers. So, I changed the and I videoed the ceremony. I told you a lot of the brochure. Next Friday will be January the 26th, and put it to give Diane a program to play while she's been absent. 69 program. Appellate division slot, and the other one to. She has been very good to us. All the appellate guy, I was told he was in consultation. I wanted to see this program. Moved it up a week. Chief Judge Guy James made for the convenience of there's just too much reform to be done. Program doesn't have room. House 3 p.m. Manhattan. I was down there doing I went to the house and say I'm going to release that Cablevision did not show up for the oral argument before the Appellate Division, 2nd Department, Supreme Court of the State of New York in Brooklyn. Glendora had the 4 judges all to herself. The case was Glendora versus Cofault Cablevision, Charles Dolan, John Tata et al. The action was brought March the 7th, 1994. Glendora won this case July the 28th, 1994. Plaintiff has a statutory right to have her program on TV, and it must be returned to TV, and it was September 2nd, 1994. Glendora had the bench all to herself for 15 minutes. Robert M. Callagy failed to show. Callagy called me to set the date for the Glendora's deposition of William Quinn, and Glendora informed Callagy then that he was not present at the oral argument to defend his clients, Cablevision, Cofault, Tata, Quinn, Dolan, Charles Dolan et al. He wasn't there. That's malpractice. Callagy apparently was incredulous that there was such an argument, but there was, and then he called back later and he asked me, did they give you a notice? And I wouldn't answer him because I wouldn't do anything for Callagy. So he's trying to pull one off that I got notified and he didn't. But this is not the case. The Appellate Division, 2nd Department, very often now does not notify people that they have oral arguments, and people miss them, and it's their fault that they miss them, but they won't do anything about that. So the onus is upon you as a litigant to keep in touch with the Appellate Division. That's why I call every Tuesday afternoon and maybe every Friday also to find out if any oral arguments are calendared or to see if any papers have come in. So this is the first thing that went out in a mailing today, and that mailing cost $36 to print and $45 to mail. And here is the second part showing that a chat with Glendora and all public access programs are a public forum. This would have looked nice, a lot nicer if Felicia hadn't sat on it with her wet paws. But this is the letter from the man in Lynbrook telling how bad things are in Long Island and how he would like to come on the program, and I read you what I could of this letter on the program. The second thing in this letter was Glendora to Judges Bryant and Judges Bryant and Fox. Glendora starts off with saying, on December 11th, Judge Bryant, you said, if there are really taxable costs, they will be added to your dollar verdict, talking to Glendora. But you know what they're going to do? Glendora, who, the jury? No, Mr. Callagy and M.S. Strickland. You know what they're going to do? Some morning they're going to wake up and going to file an offer of judgment in your case, and after that, you're not going to accrue any costs at all. Now, I didn't hear that in the courtroom, or I didn't hear it that way. So that's why you need minutes. And this is why you shouldn't be charged an arm and a leg for minutes by greedy court stenographers. Cost me this one cost me $50 to get these minutes. On December 19th, Callagy got out an offer of judgment. So Judge Bryant said that on December 11th. On December 19th, Callagy gets out an offer of judgment, and it seems to Glendora that not going to accrue any costs at all is very bad for her. As of the date he got out the offer of judgment, if Callagy wasn't smart enough to think of it on his own, and obviously he wasn't because he never got one out, he doesn't know law, why should the court give him a hand? Why should Judge Bryant help him think of it? Glendora will continue producing proof that defendants acted under color of state and succumbing to pressure by Long Island politicos to take her program off of TV because they did not want their bad record, true and public as it was, exposed on TV every week. So do not declare discovery is over. What other motive could defendants possibly have had to take Glendora's program off the TV in December of 1993. They have never come up with a reason that wasn't a lie and that was credible. They took the program off because the local politicals like Thomas Galata and James Picken didn't want their bad record, but true as it was, being read on TV every week. They have tried more than a dozen lies, and political pressure is the obvious and only motivation they had. Anyone can see that. If you know anything about this, folks, please get in touch with us. If you know any names or any conversations, please get in touch with us. We have to prove this, when we all know it's true. Glendora never can get any time to go to Long Island and do her intensive investigation because every day she has to refute a lie of defendants and their lawyer. Callagy has not paid the $94 that Judge Bryant ordered him to pay. Orally, December 11, 1995, Judge Bryant ordered it, and by endorsement the next day. He keeps saying he didn't get a copy of the order. Glendora got hers. He must have got his. Mr. Callagy keeps manufacturing impasses. The malpractice of Mr. Callagy is blatant in his failure to defend his clients on Glendora versus Cofault Cablevision at the oral argument of 4 days ago. This will make the insurance rate of Satterley increase exponentially. Further, he never opposed Glendora's SIR reply to the Appellate Division, 2nd Department, and further, he never opposed Glendora's final argument that Judge Bryant's July 19, 1995 decision rendered res judicata and collateral estoppel all of Mr. Callagy's arguments. Glendora had the last word, both on paper and orally. Malpractice. Today, Mr. Callagy tried to find out what questions the panel of 4 judges asked Glendora. She was silent. He tried to find out if the Appellate Division had notified her. She would not tell him. I want to know if they notified you and didn't notify me. Glendora said it was on his shoulders to find out. The Appellate Division does not notify anymore. It is up to the litigants to find out on their own. This is why Glendora calls the Appellate Division every Tuesday afternoon, because their modus operandi is to decide things on Mondays. It looks like a lawyer can learn a lot from a pro se. Ha, ha. Mr. Callagy set up deposition with Mr. Quinn for January 10th at 9:30 a.m. That's Tuesday. Then he canceled it. No, that was Wednesday. Then he canceled it and caused Glendora a stack of telephoning. Now he has it down for January 16th at 3 p.m. Tuesday, but he owes Glendora one. Maybe he will cancel January 16th, thus passing it to Judge Fox on January 18th at noon. Glendora likes it when Judge Fox asks the questions. He does it well, and Glendora likes to watch him. I wish Judge Fox wouldn't be so grouchy and so irritable. The Fox-Garger Forma hearing required 82 hours to prepare, to do, and to report afterwards. Judge Bryant doesn't like Glendora to spend so much time on letters and reports, but a record has to be made in writing and on TV. The public has to know. Can you tell Glendora when is the induction of new federal judges? She would like to videotape it for her TV program, as she did the induction of the New York State Supreme Court justices. Who was the last man to box Joe Louis? The Undertaker. And this went to all people in this list. I think there's about 20 of them. And so that was the third part of the letter. The fourth part of the letter that cost $70 was the oral argument of Glendora versus Cofault Cablevision at the Appellate Division, 2nd Department, January 5th, 1996 at 10 a.m. And the next part, what they sent them this history of the Appellate Division. That's the building at 45 Monroe Street, Monroe Place. And the next part of this expensive mailing was these minutes of the Judge Bryant conference of October the 26th, 1995. And the last are the minutes of December the 11th, the one where Bryant coached Callagy to put out an offer of judgment, and therefore my costs don't accrue any longer. Like Office Max anymore. They've lost their price advantage on copying, and they think you're going to fill out this form and put your name there. Well, I'm not. There's no need of that for a customer to do that. That's pretty arrogant on their part. That's Office Max. I used to like Office Max. Now, the Glendora TV log, folks. Did get out, and it cost only $1 or so to print and only $1 or so to mail. This is the Glendora TV log for this week. So here is the one for the first week of the new year, New Year's Day week. And that did get out. And the damages for the first week of the year of 1996, they cost us 33.5 hours of our lives, and they cost us $144.50. Going to provide us a court stenographer on January the 16th at 3 p.m. when Glendora deposes Mr. Quinn. And the questions that Glendora will ask Mr. Quinn: who made the decision to take a chat with Glendora off the TV? Why? Why was Mr. Kofalt fired? Why did the company? He was president of the corporation. Mr. Quinn is president of the cable systems. But Mr. Kofalt was president of the corporation, second in command to Charles Dolan. All of a sudden, after Glendora sues them, making Kofalt the lead defendant, Kofalt disappears. Where does Mr. Kofalt live now? Where does Mr. Kofalt work now?